My biological father left my mom and I when I was 2 years old. And when I was 7 years old, my mom said, we're going to move to Las Vegas. I remember I started working at the age of 16, and I just kind of led what I felt like was a normal teenage life. Started at UNLV and had met the man that would become my first husband. We were married by the time I was 21. Had our first daughter when I was 24, had my second daughter the year later, and by the time I was 28, we were divorced. I had a 2 and a 3-year-old, and I was a single mom. And I was really unsure of where my life was going to go. It was really tough to try to make a living and raise 2 girls. I did a lot of partying, a lot of going out, just drinking, staying out late. I ended up being in a relationship with an alcoholic, and I found myself at the bar on a regular basis. I put a 20 in a video poker machine just to pass the time, and very, very quickly that progressed. And it progressed into a time where I could play, and when I was playing, nothing else was going on around me. I found recovery in 2007 and started to pick up the pieces of my life. So in 2008, a friend of mine asked if the girls and I wanted to come to church. We met them here, and I was greeted at the door, and somebody smiled and welcomed me. Judd came out. He started to speak the message for that day, and he got a little personal, and he talked about his own recovery. And I knew in that moment I was in the right place. My daughters were blessed because of the generosity of people that attended this church and that gave on a regular basis. My daughters were able to go to camp. In 2013, I had found myself single again out of another broken relationship. This guy that I had known through recovery for several years, he asked me if I wanted to go have coffee. In that second or third date, he had asked me if I wanted to go to church with him. I remember hearing in service this idea of the tithe. And I can remember kind of looking into scripture about it. What it meant was that I'm going to give God back part of what he's blessed me with. I'm going to give him the first 10% of what he's blessing me with. That's what we're going to tithe. We're going to do this. And God has blessed us in such a way that we can really continue to increase our generosity just because of the way that he has increased his blessings in our life. I look back and I think when I stepped into giving, or we stepped into this season of generosity, I didn't know how God was going to make that work, but I trusted and I had faith, and I knew that whether I was just giving a little bit or giving a lot, be faithful with little. But I believe really at the end of it for us is we just have to remain faithful no matter what, because God shows us time and time again that he's going to provide and that he will make a way no matter what.